Hi, I'm Robert McCune, Managing Editor of Hotel News Now. I'm here with Jon Bortz, CEO of Pebblebrook. We are at the NYU Hotel Investment Conference. Hi, John.
Robert.
Thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So it's been about 6 months since you made a pretty big buy at Pebblebrook. We're talking, of course, about LaSalle.
Right.
How's that integration, that transition been going for the company?
Well, it's gone very well. In fact, we really started the integration the day we signed the contract, so that would have been Labor Day week. And we closed the deal the end of November. We've integrated all the people. In fact, they were integrated the Monday after the Friday we closed. So everybody was in their new offices with their new responsibilities. We brought over almost all the people in the organization. So it was good to retain those jobs at the end of the day in the industry. And then we've gone through, over the past really almost 9 months now, created a plan for every hotel that we acquired. There were 41 at the time. We've sold off, at this point, 9 of the hotels. So the first thing we did was, what do we want to keep, what do we want to sell? Mm-hmm. And then with what we want to keep, what do we do with it? Mm-hmm. Is the way it's being operated and what it is today the highest and best use, or is there a better use in terms of whether it's putting a flag on, taking a flag off, making it independent, changing operators, and or redeveloping the property? And so we spent a good amount of time, really the first 4-5 months from early September, coming up with that plan, going through, touring the properties, meeting with the teams, and we've come up with a plan for every asset. We laid out up front that we'd sell somewhere about $1.5 billion of the portfolio that we acquired, and we've sold $1.2 billion so far. We are going to sell the other, probably another $600 million between the end of this year and next year. And then there's about half of the portfolio, of what's left, about half of the portfolio we acquired, we're redeveloping and transforming either into a Z Collection hotel, which is a proprietary brand, or we're bringing in new operators, we're changing the names, a really exhaustive process. And really what we've done individually over the last 10 years at Pebblebrook, which is buy properties that had a lot of upside opportunity, figure out the best way to redevelop it, what the vision is of it, and then go ahead and execute it.
You said you were able to hit the ground running pretty quickly after the deal closed. Do you think that's because, I mean, was there any advantage to it was a bit of a drawn out process.
Right.
You felt probably confident that you were going to come out successful in the end, but were you able to begin thinking about this during some of that maybe tumult, if you would?
Well, we needed to, because we needed to explain to the shareholder base, both ours and LaSalle, what our plans were. Now, we didn't have individual property plans at the time, but we had an idea of where we needed to go, and we had an idea of what we were probably going to keep and what we were probably going to sell. We didn't give out that detail at that level, but we had to have an idea on a scale basis about what we were talking about at the end of the day. And so I think the biggest advantage was LaSalle was 3 blocks up the street in Bethesda. We had bought 22 of their 41 hotels while I was the CEO there, and we had bid on another 12 of them over the years. And so we were pretty familiar with the hotels. They're mostly in the same markets that we're in for obvious reasons. Strategies are very similar. A lot of the operators we deal with are similar. And so we had a pretty good idea of how those properties had been treated over the years and what the opportunity was.
Well, the assets part of it is one thing. I mean, that lines up, and that it was fairly a seamless transition because of the way you're positioned. That's one thing. What about the people part of it? Has that been more challenging? Have people bought into this relatively quickly and with ease?
I think they have, and the true testament is who's left and who stayed, right? There were really only, I think, out of 35 or so people, maybe it was 40 people, we offered jobs to all but 9, I think, people. 5 of those were the top 5, so there was never any question about that. because there was redundancy there. And then there were a couple of accountants and analysts we didn't hire. But everybody we've brought on, with the exception of a couple of analysts and accountants, have all stayed. So all the asset managers, all the finance people, the investment people have all stayed. They all got their bonuses. So, you know, a lot of times people leave after they get their bonuses. People seem to be happy, enjoying sort of the cultural difference between the two organizations. We're a very collaborative organization. No one has an individual objective. It's all a corporate objective at the end of the day. And that was very different than maybe what the culture was there. And so I would say, so far so good. The testament is always look at things in a year or 2 years and see how those people worked out. Are they still there?
Sure.
Are they happy? Did they integrate well? Do they like the environment that we've created?
Yeah, so far so good.
So far so good.
All right.
Knock on wood, wherever it is.